Wildlife baby season starts March 1st. Here are some of our tips for protecting wildlife this baby season. Please protect nests by waiting until September to trim your trees. Keep an eye on your pets to make sure they don't disturb nesting babies or their parents. Please avoid rodenticides and pesticides and use more humane options for pest control. Always call your local wildlife rehabilitation center before capturing orphaned wildlife babies. Thank you!
And we're back here on AnimalZone in a very special home that belongs to Alice Whitfield and David Hammer.
Mostly David Hammer.
And you guys, besides creating HAV Horse Rescue, which is an amazing nonprofit to help rescue horses,
Yep.
you also have an amazing life story
Yep.
together that
Yes, we do.
spans decades.
You would have to say 60 years. Yes, that's right.
How did it start?
Okay, you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay. David and I met in our final year, 9th grade, in Andrews Huddy Junior High School in Brooklyn. And we fell in love. And we went to Midwood High School together. And in our senior year, David and I were walking on Ocean Avenue in Brooklyn, bringing home Chinese food to my house. And he stopped, he said, you know, I have to tell you something. My father thinks that our relationship is going to interfere with my college. And I'm saying, oh, okay, you know, I'm sorry. So we have to break up. What? Oh. And there I was standing on Ocean Avenue with a bag of Chinese food. And I just grabbed the bag. He was holding it. I mean, break up with me, I'm going to take the food. I grabbed the bag and I just ran. I left. And I was crying for weeks. And it was very traumatic. It was my first love. And it was his first love. But it's not because he wanted to, but because his father was of the generation of you get your education and so that was kind of the end.
And you're just teenagers with broken hearts.
Totally. I was beyond.
So how did you guys then reconnect?
Okay, I have to take full credit. Come on.
And responsibility.
In 1982, by 1980, I was finished with Broadway and I hated Broadway. And I had done my Carnegie Hall concert and I opened up a radio and television production company in New York City called Reel to Reel Recording. That tells you how old it is. Nobody used reel to reel anymore.
Yeah.
You know, the big deal was we got a DAT. Remember that?
Sure.
Okay, so I opened up my company and I would always be talking about David. I was a single...
Even then, all those years later.
Oh, I said it broke my heart and I never got over it. I wasn't exaggerating, as you will soon find out. And so in the office, I would bring it up and I'd say, you know, we used to do this and I wonder where David is. So one of my employees, Eric Stewart, who today is the voice of Pokemon, thank you, yes, and is a multimillionaire and lives in Nashville with his wife. He comes over to me. I had hired him as an assistant in my company because we did a lot of voiceovers and stuff. And he said, you know what, it's Christmas, I'm going to give you a Christmas present. I said, you don't have to. He said, no, I'm giving you 1 hour with a friend of mine who happens to be a private investigator. You give me all the information, I'll have him call you. I said, oh my God, you would do that? Thank you. Yeah, Merry Christmas, go. So I get a call, it was a Friday afternoon, late afternoon, from a private investigator. He said, tell me everything you can tell me about the person and I'll see what I can do. And in about an hour, I got a call. And he said, okay, he said, I have a David Hammer. Oh my God. And I get a pencil and I'm shaking. He said, lives in Wantor. That's his last address. Wantor is out on the island. And his wife is a nurse. And he has 2 children. Okay, that's all I can tell you. Nothing else. I said, okay, do you have a phone number? Yes, I'll give you the phone number in Wantor. Okay. get off the phone and I'm a wreck. I said, I got to do it. I said, I got to call. And so I called. Nice, you know. Hello. A woman answers, so what am I going to do? I'm on the phone already. So I said, hi. I said, my name is Alice Whitfield, and I was a friend of your husband, David. Oh, you want to talk to David? Well, he's not here. He's with his new wife in the UK. Bam! When the internet came and things started to become more, shall we say, today, I started looking and researching David Hammer, UK, something, nothing. There was nothing. And so time went by, and in 2013, I'm driving my little 5-speed Volkswagen Beetle, and my car phone rings. And then you could talk on the phone and drive. Maybe not with my stick shift, but you know, you did that with your foot, but you wouldn't get in trouble if you would get on the phone while you're in the car. And I get on and go, hello? Hey, how you doing? It was an old friend of mine from Brooklyn. We had gone to school together as kids. And she was a little bit edgy, an edgy kind of gal. But we were friends, and I hadn't heard from her in a long time. I said, how you doing? She said, yeah, I'm doing good, you know. I'm going over to my friend Audrey. You know, I told you about Audrey. I said, gee, Marcia, I really don't remember. She says, yeah, my friend Audrey, the nurse. No, I don't. Yeah. We're going over to her roommate that she had when she was in nursing school. Yeah, we're going out to one tour. Now, you have to understand, it's not like it was a sudden flash. No, I'm driving, I'm hearing from a friend, and I hear blah, 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 nurse. Blah, 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 one tour. And then another couple of seconds go by, and it hits me. That's not a coincidence. Something's up right here, and I'm going to find out what it is. I said, Marsh, yeah, what? I said, do you happen to know what your friends in Wantor, the roommate, what her name was? Yeah, Hammer. I downshifted my car. No, this is the God's honest truth. I almost crashed through Bank of America on Lake Mead Boulevard. I went, Wah! And I went into park. I said, and I'm shaking. And I go, oh my God, you have no idea. What? Sweet. I said, Marcia, that's David Hammer's ex-wife. I need to find out what happened to him, where he is. Do you think you could find out for me through his ex-wife? Yeah, sure I can. No problem, I'll take care of it. The following Sunday, I get a phone call. It's the afternoon. Get a pencil, I can't talk. Okay. He lives in Taiwan, and the name of his company is Chairworks. I gotta go. So I wrote everything down, and I didn't know what to do. I was teaching by then. I had left New York City, of course. I was teaching at NYU. And when I came here, I was teaching at UNLV. And so one of my students was a brilliant IT guy. And this was Sunday in the afternoon. I called him up. I said, Michael Silverglade, can you please come to my house? He said, it's Sunday. I said, and what's your point? He came running over. He was about a half hour away up in north, and I was in the Summerlin area. He came and he says, what? I said, I'm shaking. This is the information I have. Could you find, David Hammer, right? Okay, give me a couple of minutes. And he's, got it. You got it? Yeah, I got it. Son's name is Jordan, right? And he lives in Taiwan, and the name of his company is Chairworks. And here it is, Chairworks. Here's the website. I gotta go home. I said goodbye. I went to the computer, and I'm on Chairworks. Contact us. And there was an email. And I just put in the email, and I wrote the following. If this is David Hammer, if the name Alice Berman means anything to you, please email me. And about 6 minutes later, I got an email. Do I remember Alice Berman? Oh my God! And that's how it started. He was living in Taiwan. He developed a 1.2 million square foot factory, never speaking a word of Taiwanese, and built an empire. I knew that he had a company. I didn't know anything else, didn't ask. We just back and forth. And I get an email from David that says, Midwood High School is having a reunion, a high school reunion in Hawaii. Would you like to go? Would you go? And I go, oh God, the last place I want to go is back to see anybody at Midwood High School. I hated everybody. And you want to know why?
Why?
A petty reason. They didn't cast me in the senior show. I am ready to write back. I really will not go. So my friend was here and said, no. I think he means you. There's no high school reunion. I said, no. There's a high school reunion. I will write back and I will tell him I don't like anybody in Midwood. I hated the school. I hated everybody except you. But okay, I'll go to the reunion. He sent me back the email. It's a Midwood High School reunion for 2. And so he sent me a round trip first class ticket to Hawaii. And we stayed at the Kahala Hotel. I met him at the airport. I spotted him. He didn't see me. He was facing the other way. And I was shaking on the plane. I had to sit on the end to go to the bathroom because I couldn't. The woman said, are you okay? No. I said, I'm not okay because I am meeting, and with this, I must have been loud. We were in first class, and the 2 flight attendants come down, and they're standing there, and they're listening to the story of how I'm reconnecting with my junior high school sweetheart, and they pull up a chair, they sit. In one of they have these black chairs that they have put away. They sit down, that unfolds, and they hear the whole story. I'm telling the woman. And I'm telling you this because 2 flights later, months later, I'm getting on the plane to go to Hawaii. And I hear, Alice! It were the flight attendants that were on the first trip that heard the whole story and remembered it, and they saw me. And I almost fainted. And the 3rd time they were on the flight, David was with me, and I introduced them to David. So it was like the most outrageous. I went to the airport. He didn't see me. I snuck up behind him, and I whispered, David, you're going to have to turn around. And he did. And he looked at me and said, Alice Berman. And I said, David Hammer. And that was that. The rest is history.
I'm surprised the pilot didn't come back.
That's the truth.
What a wonderful story.
Yep.
And now I can see why together your love has created this love of animals.
Yes, it did.
And congratulations for what you're doing.
Thank you.
We got to take a break, but can we
Yes.
go down now and visit some of your horses?
Oh, yes, you may.
And I heard you might be able to sing a tune or 2.
Oh, well, yeah, I
That
think
would be
so.
great.
Yes. Can you stand it?
Absolutely.
Okay.
All righty.
The horses are waiting.
Okay.
Yes.
We're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back with more AnimalZone after this.
What he said.
Hey, take a look at these loving animals that you can adopt today. And don't worry, if someone beats you to the shelter, there are plenty more wonderful animals ready to find you and their forever home.
Whether they're explorers or sidekicks, loungers or balls of energy, All animals deserve love and a second chance. With donors like you, Santa Barbara Humane provides affordable, high-quality veterinary care, dog training, and adoption in Santa Maria and Santa Barbara. Vital Safety Net programs support all animals. To schedule an appointment for your pet or to donate to help more, visit sbhumane.org or call 805-964-4777.
This is Nemo.
Well, Alice, where did Nemo come from?
Nemo came from here, horse rescue.
He was a rescue.
Surrendered. Yes, he was surrendered. And I just have to be real careful that he doesn't want to come out and see you. So I'm going to try to move a little this way to block
I think your carrots are a good
you think
temptation there
so?
for him.
Hey, if I give you one, will you stay?
Oh, yeah.
Thank you. Nemo,
I
look
wouldn't
who
do
has a
that.
carrot for you.
Nemo, you just
Look who has a carrot for you. Yep.
Go, good boy.
This all started because it was a dream of mine. And I reconnected with an old boyfriend from 1957, and we got married in 2017.
Oh, so you're newlyweds practically.
We're newlyweds.
Wow.
Yeah, we reconnected in 2013, and he asked me, he said, what's on your bucket list? What do you want? I said, I want to be able to take care of rescue horses and any animals. So the first thing we did is we aligned with Hearts Alive Village. The CEO of that company is Christy Stevens, and everyone knows her. The woman is God,
Yes,
okay?
she is.
I'm telling you.
Yeah.
And I have good taste, okay? So we decided to give her our first donations to build up her charity, because she was operating out of two little stores on Rainbow in a shopping mall.
Yeah.
And now we bought her, my husband, a full clinic on Decatur, and she's fully staffed, constantly busy, and still rescuing. And we're in the process of buying her a second piece of property for high volume spay neuter and unfortunately forensics. It's just, it's a reality. So from there, I said to David, I really would love to do something with horses, because I see horses here, but I don't see big spreads. I see wonderful people who keep their horses in their backyard. I'm saying, we need to rescue horses, you have to. And so 2.5 years ago, we looked for property and we found this, and we said, this is it, this is what we're gonna do. And we brought in 2 friends of ours who we worked with in Hawaii, because we lived in Hawaii, and that's Sharon and her husband, Tom. They were horse people in Connecticut. They had their own ranch, their own farm, and we all met in Hawaii. So when we came back to Las Vegas, we called them and said, how would you feel about running I stopped at, we're on the way, literally.
Before you finish.
I didn't finish. How would you guys like to run a whole? We're on the way, we're packing, we're going, we'll be there in March. This was January. And there was a house already on the property. I completely plumped it and made it like gorgeous. And in they came, and we started with nothing, absolutely nothing. And as a matter of fact, on the website, it says, 1 horse, 4 goats, and 2 dogs walk into a barn.
The beginning of a great joke.
Exactly, that's what I wrote.
Oh, okay.
So yes, that's on the website. Sounds like the beginning of a joke, right?
Yeah.
No, but it wasn't. It was the beginning, because we didn't have a barn, we didn't have anything. And Sharon and Tommy, with their 4 hands, see, math, built a stable for the 1 horse that came in weighing 333 pounds. The average horse weighs in the 900s.
So what had happened to that
Neglected and abandoned, and her sister died, and 1 goat, which I have now, and the rest is history. We just kept building, they kept coming.
How many horses have you got now?
Now 40. I can't believe it myself. When I heard Sharon say, we have 40, I go, wait, what? Wow. 40 now.
And they're all rescues or abandoned horses?
All rescues.
All rescues.
Let me just say something so people understand. I'm not looking for anybody to feel sorry, and no. The reality is we're here for a reason. Yes, there are horses, there are many animals, there are people who are abandoned and abused. It's not just horses.
Of course.
But what I'm seeing is because we are here, we are getting people coming up just to curiosity and not believing the extent to which we've put this out. Currently, we have 5 acres, and we're about to announce Las Vegas's first horse rehabilitation center. There is none. People have to send their horses to Colorado, to Utah. This will have a complete state-of-the-art rehab facility for horses. So people will be able to bring their horses here, keep them here while they're being rehabilitated, and then just take them home. They don't have to leave Las Vegas, and I think that's incredible. So
Sure is,
we've
yeah.
already broken ground. We've cordoned off 5 acres to show people. And I may not have a finger when we're finished. I just want you to know. No, he just wants to have another piece to eat. They don't bite you. Come on. And every time I come in, I hear from Sharon, well, we just got another horse. Oh my God, we're up to 40 horses.
Now, do you adopt any of these horses out?
Yes, we have 2 categories. And they're the adoptables
Right.
and the non-adoptables. The ones who Sharon vets out, who, Sharon runs the whole place, where she feels that horse is healthy enough after being, looked at by the veterinary clinics, the farriers, and Erica, who's our trainer. After everybody has their word, has their say, that's determined if that horse is going to be put up for adoption. The other thing is, if somebody does come up and see a horse that they love, they don't get the horse. Sharon goes to their house.
And vets them?
You better believe it, because people are kind, some of them, and some think they have the right place for a horse, and the reality is they don't. And so before a horse goes out, Sharon is at their house, wants to see all the facilities,
Right.
not because she's nosy, but because before we let any of our babies go, we have to make sure they're only going to be better.
Right.
So that's the adoptables, which is wonderful. A lot of them are adoptable. And then we have the intermediate to permanent resident. I say intermediate because they may have something like kissing spine that needs surgery and rehabilitation, but after that, the horse will be fine. And then they move from being non-adoptable to intermediate, which is rehab, into adoptable.
Adoptable,
So you
right.
can be sure this is very well thought out.
Sounds
And
like it.
Sharon is at the bottom of everything. I'm just the pretty face and the green hair, you know?
Well, that's an amazing story. And
It's all
you
true.
really traded Broadway in for a barnyard, right?
Yes, I did.
And
I did.
But I understand that sometimes you do perform for the horses. if
Yes,
they're
I
lucky.
do. Every single time I'm here,
Yes.
I was here yesterday and I did something ridiculous. We were filming for Facebook and I walked into one of the rooms, the stalls, and I opened it up and I said, "Come on to my house, I'm gonna give you candy." And everybody's looking, what the hell is that? I go, "That's Rosemary Clooney, 1954. I said, "But that doesn't matter. I'm inviting you into my house. This is the house of," and whoever the horse was, I was in the house. So I will just burst into song, mostly old stuff, because I don't like the new stuff. So yes, I do. Always.
And the horses probably love it, right?
They come running. They come running. Yes, you hear me. I know that. Getting to know you, getting to know all about you, getting to like you, getting to hope you like me. Yes, and they wait for the food. That's all.
Well, we have to take a quick break. But when we
Okay,
come
go ahead.
back,
Sure.
I want to explore more of your horses.
Yes.
And especially more about you.
Okay, anything you want to know.
Okay. We'll be right back after these words. Hey, take a look at these loving animals that you can adopt today. And don't worry, if someone beats you to the shelter, there are plenty more wonderful animals ready to find you and their forever home.
Two of our over 50 rescue dogs officers broke.
Hello, Willie. Where did Willie go, boy? Where did Willie go? Where did Willie go, boy? Where did Willie go? Willie's at the rescue. Willie's at the rescue. Willie's at the rescue. And Alice is coming in. On the subject I like most, getting to know you. Getting to know you, getting to know all about you, getting to like you, getting to hope you like me, getting to know you, putting it my way but nicely. You are precisely my cup of tea. I will. You know I will. Yes, I will. You try and do that. Okay. Yeah, but I think the horse is safer than I am. Yes, he is. Oh, this was a racehorse. This is a former racehorse. And we got him. And he is just a love. He was just, we think, according to Sharon, he may have ulcers, but we're going to find out and treat him accordingly. And that would mean the intermediate. So before he's adopted out, he has to be free of ulcers, or at least manageable, where somebody can devote the time.
You've created an amazing paradise for both animals and people.
And people.
And that's wonderful.
It's and people.
And
it helps.
You've given them
You're
an amazing
so cute.
gift. Oh, you are too.
No, you're
Thank
really
you
a good
for
person.
What you're doing.
Thank you.
And thank you for being on AnimalZone too.
Oh, I
You're
love
amazing,
it. Thank you
Alice.
for everything. I appreciate it very much.
Never was a friend so true. Never was a friend like you. Canine, you're my best friend. Canine of mine, friend for all time. So glad you're my best friend. Through thick and thin, we'll see things through. Canine of mine, so true. Did I find you or did you find me? Either way, it's still serendipity. When I saw you, it was plain to see you weren't just another lassie wannabe. Oh, canine of mine, friend for all time. I'm so glad you're my best friend.